Hey there friends, this is Andrew, you're watching the Scrapbox, and today I'm going to take these two tiles, I'm going to try to make an ancient temple. Now if I'm very lucky I could take this paper and this pencil and I'll magically turn it into a drawing of a temple. And... close enough. Alright, that's the basics. I should know what's going on in there though. I'll figure it out. Alright, we're going to start with this one, which is going to be our courtyard. It should be a nice circle. We're going to see how far we can get on that in this video. What I've done is I've marked off an area for the fountain in the center of the circle. And I know you're wondering, why isn't this centered in the whole plate? Well, that's because the circle is going to be about here, then there's going to be a little walkway, and that's going to lead into the temple area. Now, the biggest question you're asking, and I'm asking myself right now, and probably the hardest part about this whole center area, is how do you make circular steps that go up from the center? That's going to be hard in Lego. The answer, I believe, oh hey there Pepper, is that we're going to build it sideways. Something like that. Except, you know, actually centered and looks nice. This works, and I actually think it works kind of well. However, the thing I don't like is that that's a large step up. I tried making them with these hinges. The only problem is, it doesn't work out tile-wise. Man, I have tried so many things. I've tried this angle, I've tried that angle, I tried those things, I tried this thing. I think this is the closest I've gotten to a complete angle, but I'm just gonna say phooey. Alright, like it or not, I think this is the stairs, and I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Andrew, that's 3.5 studs. That's 3.5 studs, but this one. This part's only 3 studs, therefore it's not a perfect circle. And to that I say you're absolutely right. And I couldn't figure out the angles. And it makes me a little sad inside, but this is the best we got. So this was what it shall be. I'm not gonna spend a week just trying to figure out the little simple angles when I got a whole thing to build. Thinking about this, how can I fix it, and... Alright, I think this is the best that we're going to get. It's, circular-ish. Maybe if I move this over by half a stick, you know what? It's fine. This isn't connected yet, but I've got it with solid 45-degree angles, and I know you're thinking, why are these not gray? It's because I don't have the gray pieces. But don't worry, it'll all come together in the future. It matches now. Now, technically, this is off set too far. You know, if I can't even count, I know it's 1/4 of a stud. It's 1/4 of the stud off center, but you're not gonna tell, are you? You're gonna keep our secrets, aren't you? Aren't you? Alright, the stairs are tiled off and it looks nice, and I'm kind of glad I didn't finish this because number one, it comes out further this way, you know, on into the abyss, and number two, some of you are naughty. Unfortunately, even though these are beautiful tiled, I didn't tile down here, which means I'm gonna have to do that now. And all of this is gonna have to be filled up for me to do that. Good job, me. Alright, now one of the most important things we can do is we can build up the rest of this plate, because it's not just gonna, you know, stairs drop off here. It's gonna have a raised platform that's gonna go a little bit above this. Since I have a bunch of Technic bricks that I have no idea what to do with, and everybody seems to love Mills plates, I'm gonna make this entire side just Technic bricks. And there we go. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna put lights on this since this whole temple is supposed to be abandoned. But if I did, this would be great avenues for all the wirings. Now I'm gonna cover it up and then regret it when I want to wire things later. Now that the outline's done, I can build it up a little more and set little columns for support on the inside. And now you can see all my nice colorful blocks finally being put to use. And no, I mean, yes, absolutely, I could have made a perfectly, you know, spaced out, wonderful grid, but I don't wanna, so this is what we get. Actually, I'm gonna do something that's gonna become important later. I'm gonna take this one, and this one, maybe, okay, I'll move this one here, and then I'll take that one, and I'll move that one there. Perfect. This side is all built up, this side is not, but I'm starting to realize that these plates might be a problem with just how, slightly offset they are. Hey, do you remember about a minute ago when I said, I should tile these up because it's going to be very difficult and I need to peel these off? And then it just cut to the next part of the video and I didn't do that? Yeah, that's because I forgot. But if I don't do it at this point, it's going to be very difficult. So I'm going to do that now. Wait a minute. I didn't tile off the whole thing. I just tiled off the difficult parts. It's almost as if I'm being indecisive. Anyways, back to the rest of this. Hey, look. Wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh yeah, that's because there's no stud there. Hey, look. I made a hole. Why? A hole. I thought, we have so many levels of terrain, you might as well make some use out of it and make, you guessed it, a hole. Now the really hard part's going to be tiling this all super nicely. There you go, that's looking nice. Well, almost nice. There's little holes here and there, but it's going to be covered up as I tile through the rest of this. And I see now that these look too clean, which is good that there's, little studs here and there that I could place little extra things on. Now, if this temple still existed today, it would probably have, little crops out here, places for farming, and this middle section with a fountain would probably have, some sort of large, what's the word? Come on. I'm gonna say gazebo. A large gazebo thing, archways over it. So we're going to try to build some archways in each of the corners, but they're not going to be complete because this is the ruins of a temple. Now, luckily for us, these are fine. You can put a little circle on those, and these you could barely fit a little circle. However, this one and this one you cannot, and that's just because of how I tiled things off, but it'll be fine. Not bad, not bad. Alright, now I've got to make the actual columns. We're going to start with each of them getting one of these. I call them Roman pillars just because, they're corrugated. Sure, let's go with that term. Now I'm a little confused because my instinct is always to do these little ridges right about here, but that's going to square them all off, and then I'm going to have to make sure each angle is very precise, and that sounds like a lot of work. Alternatively, I could take a piece like this and put it on, but I think that's too much of a railing. Yet another option I could do is I can make one of these, which is a design I've seen many times before. However, there's little gaps in between each one, and it would require me to make 8 of these, which is 64 1x3 gray tiles, which I extremely covet. I think I just discovered a solution. Yes, I have a lot of wheels because so many thrifted things are just vehicles. Do I make a lot of vehicles? No, so look at the wheels. Alright, join me on the floor for a second. Now, I think this is the ideal piece. You go like that. You get one of these. You put it, wow, I can't do this one-handed. Sure you can, just try, there you go. So I get like one of those, and then the regular pieces go on top, and then it goes up from there. I think that might be ideal, except for the fact that I only have one of these wheels, so that whole thing is out. Next is this one, which I think would also be cool. You put that on the top, and then you put this on there. Except, you guessed it, I don't have 8 of these, even though I do have one hiding right there. But not 8 of them. I have now double-checked and confirmed, no, I do not have 8. So, we're going to go with these ones, and I have so much of these. Like I said, most of my thrifted stuff are vehicles, and most vehicles have these wheels on them. And I think they're okay, and if you put that on top, and then you put that, I think it looks fine. Fine. There you go, fine. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Now the good news about these bases is I can put poles through them to help with the structural supports. I made some of these a lot longer because some of these are going to be taller pillars than others. Some of them are going to be knocked down. Surprise. For instance, I'm going to tile this one off and then this one's going to stop there. I think it was this exact moment where I've decided, at first I was like, it's gonna look okay, and now I'm like, this looks really cool. Unfortunately, before I make the archways, I have to make the fountain in the center, otherwise I won't be able to, really reach in and get it. So let's make a fountain. Dang it, I had a perfect plan. I was gonna take one of these 6x6 dishes, and I was gonna put it in the center, but this was gonna be tan, and then it was gonna look like the fountain had filled up with sand. Except, they've only released a tan 6x6 dish in 2 sets. 2 sets I don't have, so there goes that plan. So I filled in the center as best I can with sand, and I also tiled around 3/4 of the edges. It's supposed to be rough, it's supposed to be dilapidated, so I'm not gonna finish making it super smooth. However, on that line of thought, would this fountain be still standing, or would it be knocked over a little bit? And I think knocked over a little bit, don't you? There you go. The fountain has been knocked over, and I had some extra sand buildup around here. But what knocked over the fountain? What came crashing down was the top of this pillar. You see, I've decided to put these at the tops of the pillars, just so they're more out of the way. But that means I can do something like... let's see, where do I want it? How about right here? Think right there looks good? There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. You're right, I think I need a little buildup of sand right down there. But right now, I'm looking at these arches, and I'm gonna put them on roughly like that. And I'm gonna make at least 1 full arch, perhaps 2. Alright, I've made all the archways that I have pieces for, and it took forever to try to get, all these little interchanging pieces to look remotely okay. There's still big gaps, as you can see, but I think that's the best it's gonna get. I do believe, though, that we should have this pole fallen down over here. Alright, notice I'm using different colors for these, and not even an arch for that one, because I am out of those pieces completely. However, all I need to do now is slight variations in the levels. Wow. And then I think we'll call it this week on this rune, and then next week I'll make the rest of the temple. I added some subtle variations here, there, and so forth. But I realized something. I'll probably add plants later, but right now this really looks like a Soulsborne mini-boss area. Like, let's say there's the big gate right over here, and that's sealed off until you face off against Bilbagorg, Guardian of the Gate. If you've played Dark Souls or Elden Ring, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I sound absolutely insane. Either way, it's a win for me. Anyways, this is what we have for today. I hope you liked it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, bell button, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. All for YouTube, And let me know if there's things I should tweak. Like I said, I will put a little plant life in there in a little bit. You'll see. It's going to be a big thing. Bye.